at choosing good quotes. So if my thesis is plagiarism is a significant problem because it is dishonest, it limits new ideas, and it deprives students of the opportunity to learn, I'm going to look for some information for it is dishonest. All right. So I'm going to go to the Matthew Laser article, which is on 30. Nope, just kidding. Which is on, who's got it faster than I do? I was right, 33. It's on 33. So if you want to flip to page 33 in your workbook, you can see that he says in this article, plagiarism is wrong because it is stealing. Is that a helpful quote for me to use to prove the point that plagiarism is a significant problem because it is dishonest? Why not? Exactly. It just says it again, right? Right. It's not proving anything. Good, Josiah. It's just repeating what I've already said in my topic sentence, right? So that's not helpful. Don't use that. How about this one? When you copy someone else's writing, you are stealing their creative labor and pretending that it's yours. That be helpful for proving that it's dishonest? So Megan's saying that one's common knowledge. What do you think? I mean, I don't really need, yeah, maybe. I don't know that I really need laser to tell me this. And maybe that's really just the definition of stealing, right? Because it does repeat that they're stealing. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep looking. I want to find something even better. Oh, sure, you're right, Gideon. A lot of things are common knowledge, but still need to be said, but you don't have to give credit to a source for them. Now, if you used Laser's actual words to say this, then you absolutely have to give credit to him, right? But just this idea that copying someone else's writing and pretending that it's yours is stealing is not something that Laser came up with on his own, right? That's something that you could say in your own words safely without giving him credit. Does that make sense? Do you see the difference, Gideon? I'm glad you brought that up. Because yes, I'm not saying to not include things that are common knowledge. We just don't have to put them on our cards. So thank you for helping me clarify that. All right, so let's look at page 34. What about this one? But if students see that they can get away with it, what's next? If they become doctors, why not rewrite a preoperative assessment report after a botched procedure? Is that common knowledge? Would I have come up with that myself? No. Does it explain why it matters that plagiarism is dishonest? Yes. In fact, what is it saying? How does it show that dishonesty is a problem? Can anybody explain why this quote would be helpful? Right. Megan says it becomes a pattern in your life that you can't shake. Exactly. So, one small, you think, oh, this is no big deal. I'm just going to plagiarize on this. It's not going to hurt anybody. But, once we do that, and then we do it again, then we do it again, maybe now we're doing it all the time. And now we're lying in our preoperative assessment report. That's not good, right? To cover our tracks. Exactly, right? Megan says we're searing our conscience. All right. So again, when I put this on my card, I'm not going to say Laser saying that when students can get away with this, then eventually when they're doctors, they're going to cheat on their reports. That would be just repeating what he says. But I could say something like what Megan has just said in the chat box, right? See how that works? All right. Also, if you'll notice, let's see. Does anybody, okay, this is right. This quote is in the middle of page 34 in your workbook. If you want to underline it or highlight it or anything, feel free. Notice that there are not already quotation marks around it. When I say find a quote, I don't mean find something that's already quoted in the book, right? I just mean find a sentence from the book that you want to use. Now, what if it is already in quotation marks in the book? We'll talk about that later. Don't worry about it. But for now, Just know that. You can see it there. He does not have quotation marks around it yet. I'm putting quotation marks around it because I copied it from the book. All right, how about this one? You rob yourself of the intelligence strengthening experience that comes with tapping into your own language skills and creativity to develop an original argument and supporting narrative. What about that one? Yeah. Oh, some of you actually, yeah, Megan actually underlined that one this week while reading. So did Josiah. Good, good. Yes. So this one is very good. He's explaining that, I mean, well, I don't have to tell you what he's explaining. You can read it. But this would go with what kind of prong? What prong might this go with? Would it support it is dishonest? Not really. But what might it support in my thesis up here? Limits new ideas. Yeah. And even, I mean, I guess it really could even go with depriving of the opportunity to learn, right? Because you're robbing yourself of the experience of learning, intelligence strengthening. That's learning. So it could go with either one of those technically, right? So yeah, so it's a good quote. Exactly, William. It's a good quote. It doesn't go with dishonest, but I could definitely use it somewhere else in my paper. Got it? You see how and again, you can find it right there on page 34 to see where I'm pulling that from. All right, so let's say that there is a quote that you want to use and it's already in quotation marks. So flip back to page 33. First of all, on page 33, he's got defining the term. Follow with me on 33. The Oxford English Dictionary first defines plagiarism as the action or practice of taking someone else's work, idea, etc., and passing it off as one's own. I don't want to use that from Laser's article. Any ideas why? Yes, Josiah, if I am quoting a quote, that is how I would do it, with triple quotes. You're right. But why would I not even want to put this information on a card and say that I got it from Laser? Exactly. He's quoting someone else. If I want to use a definition from the Oxford English Dictionary, I need to go get it from the Oxford English Dictionary. I don't need to quote Laser quoting the Oxford English Dictionary. First of all, you can do that in your papers, but it's a little complicated to do. And we are going to learn later this semester how to do it, but there's no need to do it because we can just go to the dictionary and get it. All right. Now here, he says, if an author is once detected, a little bit below that, he says in quotes, if an author is once detected in borrowing, he will be suspected of plagiarism ever after, advised the writer William Hazlitt in 1820. Well, if I want to use that, I probably can't go back and find that from 1820 by William Hazlitt. I don't know, maybe it's easy. I could do a Google search and try. But if you needed to use that and you couldn't find the original, that would be a time it would be appropriate to quote Laser quoting someone else. And in that case, you would do, as Josiah just showed you in the chat box, you would do triple quotes around it. I'll explain why later. We're not going to worry about that today. But just if you do that on your card, make sure it's something that you really need. You couldn't get it anywhere else but where you found it, and you put triple quotes around it. All right? Just try to avoid even doing that for this paper. All right, so again, on your note card, and if you want to fill this one out there as one of your samples now or later, you can look back at it later, whatever you want to do. This is the body. Here's the quote that we found. It supports the prong about dishonesty. So I'm going to put up at the top, it's dishonest because that's what it supports. It came from the Laser article, so I'm going to put that there. It came from page 34 of the Laser article, so I'm going to put Laser 34. What do I have between Laser and 34, by the way, on that card? The word Laser and the number 34. Just a space. That's right. Just some air, nothing else. Notice that there's no comma. There's no P period. There's no comma, page, anything like that. No period, no nothing. Just Laser, space, and the number. Got it? All right, and then how does the information support the prong? So I could say once someone becomes comfortable with a dishonest act they believe is minor, like plagiarism, they start to make dishonesty a habit and engage in more serious offenses. This is going to help me when I write my paper because after I put this quote in there by Laser, I can't just throw it out there and then walk away. I've got to explain what it said, how it connects to my, not what it says, but how it connects to my prong or to my topic sentence in this case. So that's where this information will help me. All right. If you can't figure out a way that it connects to your prong, then toss it, find something better. Again, don't say what he said, say why it matters to your prong. Questions so far? How are we doing? Again, it's sort of exciting, but at least it's not too hard, right? All right. This